So you're born sometime in the 80s, but coming up in the 90s, really, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Help paint the scene for us at that time of what the Bronx was like. You're a kid walking down the street. What are you seeing?
So I remember when I moved to Castle Hill, it looked nice. Like the grass was cut and it just looked like people was going about their business. And I was like, oh, this shit is cool. Until the nighttime came and motherfuckers was out there shooting and robbing each other. I said, oh shit. And you can see all this shit from the window. I'm talking about 6 years old, 7 years old. So it's like, what the fuck? It's like in the daytime, the shit is like a nice neighborhood. But when that sun went down, man, the goons came out. You know, it got,
Yeah, because Hoke was saying that it's like every night you guys heard shooting.
it was so much shooting and it wasn't just like revolvers and handguns. It was like machine guns. Remember, this is the height of the crack era.
Right.
So it was like our whole area and neighborhoods was infected throughout the 5 boroughs. And Castle Hill was like the headquarters of the drama. It seemed like, because I was from there. And that's, I'm sure every block was like that. Soundview was definitely like that. Monroe, Bronx, there, all our whole area was just a powder keg, and it was crazy. It was crazy, literally crazy.
But you were saying that like you saw so many crack vials and everywhere that you were going and walking pretty much, right?
Everywhere. It was crack all over. Like, I just remember seeing all them vials, and we knew not to touch them because the stigma about crack was so powerful that we were scared to even touch the vials, right?
Right.
Because it was just, you turn on the TV and it had all those commercials. This is your brain on drugs, and you had Nancy Reagan saying, "Just say no," and you had murals all over the city saying crack is whack. And then you actually got to see some of the people that were affected by crack, and you start seeing how they look, and then that's where you get the term, oh, that's a crackhead. But back then, we didn't know that we was dehumanizing people by even saying that term, which is the wrong term to describe a crack smoker, So we was just seeing the devastation that was happening due to economic reasons. That's the first reason. Before the drugs is economic reasons, the lack of capital. That's why the neighborhoods was going to shit. But crack fueled it. It was the scapegoat by the media. But it
Right.
really was an economic downturn for the whole country. So you got to blame it on somebody. You got to blame it on something. And crack.
So at the young age, right, who explained to you what that was?
No one really explained it to me. So when you're young, you observant. You can see what's going on. If I see somebody who looked smoked out, somebody with a big gold chain on and new sneakers and the brand new car, some money, you see the transaction, right? So I was seeing that all the time, and I knew common sense would tell you at a young age, this person is buying something from this person, right? And whatever they're buying is destroying them, and whatever he's selling is enriching him or her. You understand?
Right.
So it's like you see what's going on in the neighborhood. You see the exchange of money flow and the exchange of power, and you start taking notice, and you start thinking, "Do I want to be the crack smoker or the crack dealer?" Because the crack dealers looked aspirational. They looked affluent. They looked successful, right? And the crack smoker looked devastated and destroyed and distraught.
So so they were like really like zombified.
I'm not going to say zombified. I'm going to say that they were going through something, right? Because I don't want to describe people that smoke crack as zombies and things like that, because we go back to dehumanizing them. But they were going through something. And some of those people probably back then had mental health problems. They were probably going through midlife crises. You understand?
Yeah.
So it was more than just the crack. because crack, it's people who smoke crack. Judges, lawyers, doctors smoke crack. They go to work, they do heart surgery, go home and have sex with their wife, smoke their crack, and go back to work. So we just can't blame it on a drug. We got to blame it on more than the drug. We got to blame it on the economic conditions surrounded our the environment of the country at the time. It was an economic downturn, and our people suffered the most, black and brown.